Hello, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here with another episode of Hot Mic with SSJ. Let me tell you a little story. Sit down on my knee. I was told by a certain salesman, Chad Corey, that if I did a podcast every week, he'd fucking sell it. So, hey, Chad Corey, get off your sweet ass and start selling. You like that? Sell this podcast, would you? Anywho, I'm back again with Todd here, and I would like to first, before we get into where you were the past couple of fucking weeks, off the grid in Italy, I would like to start off with a sad note. Because I talked about this a little bit earlier today on the show. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to advertise, contact me, because I'll get shit done. Stephen St. John at 810WHB.com. Stephen St. John at 810WHB.com. I could put together a real nice package for you. Throwing your name around, throwing your business around, throwing your phone number around, throwing your address around, talking you up, talking you down, talking you all the way around.
Just give your cell phone out.
Advertising, sponsorship, partnership. All right, we make it happen together. You know? Okay, then. Listen to me. I'm on one today. Now, back to the sad note. You know, I'm 50 years old, which is sad just by itself. But growing up in the 70s and 80s, some young men gravitated towards Star Wars and like the science fiction. I watched it, but it didn't resonate with me. It didn't grab me, right? And so when I was a youngster, what did I love? I loved the Rocky movies. Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, Creed 2, Creed 3. Sorry. But special part of my childhood, right? I can vividly remember going to Blue Ridge East to watch Rocky 3 with my mother and my father and people cheering as Rocky was fighting Mr. T. Clubber Lang. I remember going to the movies, Indian Springs, to watch Rocky 2 when Rocky bested Apollo Creed, and he was the first to get up at the count of 10, and Creed slumped in his corner and lost the championship. And so that's my favorite movie series ever. That's, as crazy as some people get about Star Wars, that's the way I am about Rocky, right? And I'm lucky enough that my boys, and really my girls, but my boys especially, they have latched on to the music I forced upon them, the movies. They root for the teams that I root for, or guess what? They wouldn't get their bills paid or their tuition. Let's be honest. You root for the Chiefs. You root for the Royals. Root for the Missouri Tigers, and you don't bring any of that other shit home. Point is, they love the Rocky movies. And my son Richie, he might love Rocky and the Rocky movies even more than I do, which is saying something. Phil loves him, but Richie really, he's got gear, he's got a Rocky hat, whatever. And so last night I was very sad to learn that Burt Young passed away at the age of 83. Paulie. What an integral part of the Rocky series. He had so many great comedic lines. He had so many great moments in the Rocky series. He was just perfect for that role. And I know, like, my buddy Big Tom loves Paulie, would always quote Paulie and give us favorite Paulie moments. And he was fantastic. He was also great in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield's Thornton Mellon's bodyguard and his muscle. He was also very good do you remember who he was in The Sopranos? He had one episode.
It's not coming
he
to
was
me real
Bobby
quick.
Bacala's father.
Oh,
remember?
That's right. Yes.
Bobby Bacala's dad.
Bobby Bacala.
Right. The Pope of Greenwich Village. Once Upon a Time in America.
He was in Convoy
which
as well.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Criminally underrated Once Upon a Time in America. But he'll always forever be known as Paulie. You will remember that in Rocky IV. It was his birthday, and he was excited for his birthday present. And out comes a robot with a cake, and it's "Happy Birthday, Paulie." And then he don't like it. He wanted a car.
He wanted that new technology.
He wanted something. He didn't want that robot. But then later on, he somehow hacked into the computer, into that robot, and he changed the robot's voice to a very seductive female voice that waited on him hand and foot. And I'm going to be honest with you. You never saw a romantic interest for Paulie. There's every chance that he fucked that robot. They didn't show it in any of the Rockies, but that's what you thought. Like,
obviously,
there's something going on between
the
Paulie
next
and the
step.
show, right?
Yes.
Didn't he kind of make it into his companion?
Yeah, we were texting last night. He had a rough start. He wasn't very nice to his sister in Rocky.
Well, no, but he was a great character.
Yes,
and you ended up caring about him. The great scene to open up.
He threw that damn turkey.
Do you think he had sexual relations with the robot? In some fashion.
In some fashion,
right,
whether it was
absolutely.
like physical or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. It filled a void in his life.
Yes.
Maybe he didn't, whatever. So, but the opening of Rocky III, right? When he's drunk in the bar and he's seeing on the TV, he's tired of Rocky getting all of that attention and being on the TV as a champ, and then he sees the Rocky pinball machine. He throws a fucking drink through it, and then he ends up in jail, and who's there to bail him out? But it's Rocky in his nice overcoat.
Rocky's very nice. He could have whipped his ass so many times.
We played the whole scene on the show today.
Yeah.
And Rocky's, friends do because they want to do, and he goes, "You're just a dirty, stinking bum. Well, I don't sweat you." And he starts throwing some fucking punches. Burt Young, a former professional fighter. Burt Young, a former Marine. All right? He was a fucking badass. And what a great scene, though. And then at one point he goes, you get this big house, and then who you move in? You move in Mick, but then all you give me is this X-Lax watch. And he throws it down. It's a Rolex, but he said X-Lax. It was funny, I don't sweat you. I remember he said one time he was the unsilent majority. You remember when Rocky was training, he pulled him into the pool. So many great moments from my childhood. Rest in peace, Burt Young.
Yeah.
All right?
It was good.
Don't you think he was
Love the
wonderful?
The Rocky movies have been part of our lives.
Forever. And that got me thinking, boy, I'm going to be fucking devastated. I'll already tell you, I will use a vacation day.
No.
The day after Sylvester Stallone passes away.
You'll never
Well,
die.
yeah, I'll be fucking, I can't do a show. I won't be able to do a show. I won't be able to put myself together the day after Sylvester Stallone dies. Are you fucking kidding me? I'll be in shambles.
Well, let's hope he dies on a Friday. You'll be ready by Monday.
Let's hope. I'll be honest. I'll go before Sylvester Stallone dies. He'll be living till 100.
Don't talk like that.
I can't have that. I could never do a show the day after. I need 48 hours to rebound if Stallone dies. That's just going to let you know that. So
if he's probably going to die.
Rest in peace to Burt Young. Now,
BY.
Where have you been?
I've been in Italy.
You went to Italy.
We went to Italy with my wife.
How many people?
My son, my daughter, and her fiance, her fiance.
So 4 people.
5 people.
5 people.
Well, me, Denise, my son.
Oh, your son went too. Okay.
My daughter and her fiance.
5 people. 5 grown-ass people.
5
How long?
Grown-ups. Well, it was 10 nights. We were gone from the country
10
for 12 days.
Okay.
Because the day you leave, it's not. Okay. I mean, you're gone. You sleep in a freaking airplane.
I've never gone anywhere out of this country except for Mexico.
Right.
So I've never gone abroad. I've never gone to any. I've been with abroad or two. A couple of them.
At once?
But we haven't gone to Disney. We haven't fucking gone anywhere. It's my fault. I got to take my family on a vacation.
Now you drove to Graceland.
So for people, that's exactly right. And I'll do it again. For people that don't know, 5 grown people, Italy, 12 days.
Yes.
What are we talking about here? Put a price tag on this. You can't put a price tag on it, but you can.
Oh, you could. Well, the credit card company certainly did.
Give me a number. Doesn't have to be exact,
everything
but
we
close.
did. I mean, you're close to like $20,000 on something
20
like that. And
$1,000 fucking dollars.
You can go do that. You could go do that and just spend $20,000 on the flights if you go like first class. No, we didn't do that. We're back in the back of the bus.
I could get a fucking Cadillac with good miles for $20,000. But I won't go to Italy.
Scrimped and saved.
So, first question: was it worth $20,000?
Yes.
Don't say what Denise wants you to say.
No, absolutely. It was great.
Do you money well spent?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the biggest hassle about traveling to Italy?
The only part that wasn't the greatest part was the train. We went we flew to Rome. We took a train from Rome to Florence. Not very long, hour and 10-minute train ride, whatever. It's great. And then the day we went from Florence to Naples on the train, that train's great. Goes straight down there. But then you got to get on this other train that goes around the Bay of Naples, and it's basically like a subway type train. It's not, you don't have the seats and the overhead compartments and all that stuff. And it was like a lot of stops, but that's the way to get there, to get over to Sorrento where we went. That part wasn't great. And
is there a big group of fans of Paul Sorrento, former Cleveland first baseman,
or the Kia Sorrento? They like them all.
Right.
So, and I'd done. It's so easy to travel now. Everyone's done the research for you. Now I'll say this wrong. The train is called the Circumvesuviana, not
the circumcision.
No. So it goes around where Vesuvius is.
Right.
That's what it's, a Circumvesuviana train. And you go to the Naples train station, and then you go down to the third level and you buy the tickets. You can't buy them online ahead. You can't use a credit card. It's cash. And so I'm in line. Smells like Europe down here. Okay, we're in this little.
What does that mean?
Little ripe. Okay, it was the afternoon.
What does Europe smell like?
It smells like maybe you need a bath. Okay, maybe you need to get a little deodorant on. So
there's a lot of body odor.
A little BO in this
I don't want to go now.
Confined area for 10 minutes while I was buying our 5 tickets
I'm out.
to get on the Circumvesuviana. But then we got on the train. It was great, and we made it. But that little we were going to try to spend a little time in Naples to go to a soccer match. No, it didn't work. But I wanted to get true Neapolitan pizza because that's where pizza was invented.
Right.
Okay? So I said, here's the deal. Fuck the soccer game. We're not coming back over there.
Is that where chicken spadini began?
No.
Okay.
That began at Garozzo's.
Thank you.
So we get off the train in Naples, and I'm like, we got some time because our Airbnb wasn't going to be in Sorrento. I said, you can go, there's a little company that you just give them all your bags, and they'll watch them for you. They put them in a locker.
Yeah, and they'll go through them.
Well, maybe. But, and we're just going to walk and find real fucking pizza. So a couple blocks all it was. So everything was very clean over there. Lots of places were great. The Naples Centrale train station, when you walk outside, you might see some things. So we go to get this pizza, and have you ever had a deep-fried pizza?
I don't think so.
Okay. It was like it could have been at a state fair or something. Like, Neapolitan pizzas, that stuff they cook in 90 seconds in the hot-ass ovens. Basically, they make a pizza, they flip it over, they deep-fry it. And it was fucking outstanding.
Was it really?
Yeah. They
don't know how
invented
that sounds to me.
It's not something you want every day, but it was really good. I'll send Ben a picture. He can put a picture of it up. But it was, he likes that.
What else? What was some of what was in it?
This had, it was ham, prosciutto, and mozzarella, or not really mozzarella, more like a fresh mozzarella cheese, not like our melted cheese. But then everyone else got it. We shared a lot of food. We shared a lot of different kind of pizzas.
What was the best thing you ate the whole time you were there?
I've said that this wild boar ragu pasta, it was probably our first real meal there. It was fucking great.
What's boar taste like?
It's pork. But it was really good. And we went to this pasta making class.
Boar on the floor.
Boar on the floor. We had really good food. The pasta was all great. The pizzas were great. I probably have a little regret. They have steak Florentine, which is the way they prepare big steaks.
Did you get that?
But we didn't end up doing that because we were on Florence for a couple of days, and I wanted to eat this boar, and whatever.
Were you drinking a bunch of wine?
I drank some wine. They drank a lot of wine. I drink mostly beer. I'm a beer boy.
Like Italian beer?
Yeah.
Like what?
Peronis, Moretti's. Peroni's got several brands. You see them here, but there's 4 or 5 different kinds. Rosa, that's a red one.
Okay.
An Astro Nerusa, which is a Peroni product. It's weird. We go to the grocery store, stock up the Airbnb, and if you go to the grocery store here and you're going to get some beers, how can you get beers? You can get them in what orders here? You get one beer if you're getting just one, or you get a 6-pack or 12-pack,
right? Or
a 15 or an 18 or a 30 rack.
Yeah.
You know what they sell over there?
What's that?
3-packs.
Well, that's good.
That's the biggest one. You want a 3-pack of beer?
At any point, did you go and ask anyone where the mafia was located?
No, we didn't do that because I think there was some around. They have these deals. They were telling me in Sorrento when we were there, you have to care. There's an issue with some mafioso type things happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those things happen. And there's some law there that you have to have a receipt with you. like if you buy something, you need to keep that receipt because they theoretically could stop you and say, "Did you buy that? Show me the receipt." That's what they told us. So I kept our receipts for shit.
What about the fucking show we like on HBO?
That's what
the resort,
the White Lotus.
Was it?
That's
were
what
you close to that?
That's in Sicily where they shot that. But that's what Sorrento and the Amalfi Coast looks like. It's beautiful. And it looked like that.
So what else? Like, what other cities did you hit?
We were in Florence. That's where we saw David. And the Duomo, which this is all.
Did you go to Rome?
Type. Yeah, that's where we ended up. And then we went to Sorrento. It was more relaxing.
When you were in Rome, did you do as the Romans do?
Yes. Bathhouses, the whole 9 yards.
Did you go to a brothel?
Yes. We did.
You really?
We went to a brothel in Pompeii. Now, it was defunct. It wasn't in there. But they in Pompeii, which was destroyed by the Vesuvius eruption in like the year 79.
Okay.
They uncovered all that in like 1700, and there's a brothel in there with frescoes on the wall of positions.
Did they have any active brothels?
No. Well, not that I went to. We didn't do that, but we were in a brothel in Pompeii. And it was interesting. I'll show you the pictures of the sexual positions that you could choose from. It was like a menu on the wall.
Can we show that on the YouTube? Can we show that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll show you that.
I like that.
Pompeii was really cool, though. It got covered with like 20 feet of ash in the year 79 or whatever, and didn't get uncovered till 1700. So it was literally all preserved underneath there. It was
How
amazing.
difficult was the language barrier? Did a lot of people speak English?
Yeah, there's
able to
plenty of
communicate
English.
so that
I did Duolingo for a couple of months, so I had a little basic knowledge of a lot of the words.
Did you just like go up to people, hey, what do you want from me, huh?
You just do this a lot.
Yeah.
But I had a little bit of a knowledge of some of the words. So
I'm such an asshole, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Most of the people in these places spoke English. Now, you might come across, someone. Waiters all know English. I mean, they want to. That's how that works. I mean, they know they got people from all over. We did have we had a car.
Were they price gouging you because you were an American?
Well, it's interesting. I'll tell you this. Here's a tip for people going over there. You don't tip at the restaurants over there.
Why not?
Well, because I guess they pay the people like what a wage is. Like here, you don't pay waiters and waitresses like even minimum wage. You get it on the tip.
Take a 10 and put in there a little something extra for you.
Right, something like that. So we're in Florence. You're just paying by the credit card, whatever. Just tap it. Here's your receipt. Buy, sign. Don't even sign unless
you don't even care what
now.
anything costs. You're
Nothing.
just
Didn't even matter.
Running it up on the credit card.
So get to Rome. Now you're in a big city. Big city.
Right.
I think they smell America on you.
Sure they do.
So a couple of times at a restaurant, they'd be like, well, if you'd like to tip, you need to tell me now. I put it in.
Right.
And I'm like, well, can I just give you some cash, some euro? And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. So, yeah, when you got to Rome, they smelled a little America on you. And they're like, well, maybe we get a little tip out of this guy because, we're used to it. But I'll promise you, if there was like an Italian couple or something eating, they probably weren't even mentioning tips to them.
Did you go to a nightclub?
No, we didn't do any of that.
A beach?
No. A beach. You think I'm going to go to a beach?
I don't know. I'm asking, like, what else
we saw a beach. We saw what we did.
What did you walked up a mountain?
We did, Mount Vesuvius.
How was that?
Pompeii is at the bottom of that. That's where all the ash fell. And then I'm going to tell you this right now. We were on a tour. So we were in this big bus, like a big coach bus.
I don't think I'd like that.
And these fucking little windy roads going up this mountain. Our bus driver, Rosario, I tipped him at the end of this fucking thing.
Right.
Best bus driver of all time. This guy fucking backed this thing up to get closer for people. Backwards up fucking Mount Vesuvius. He's insane, man. This guy was awesome. But it was cool, and then you have to walk up. It's a pretty good haul.
Did you ride a scooter?
No, you could rent scooters.
That's right. Why not?
There were scooters. I saw some fucking funny little cars, man. Like little cars we don't sell here, little brands we don't sell. It was wild. When you didn't see a car that was like American sized, besides vans and stuff like that, anywhere till we got to Rome. Then you saw a couple of bigger vehicles, but everything's little bitty ass cars, weird ass companies you never heard of.
Right.
Little small things, and they just zip around. And the scooter people are nuts. I mean, they're like zipping in and out like crazy. They're not. It doesn't seem like there's any real rules with the traffic, and there weren't a lot of like traffic lights anywhere until we even got to Rome. It's just people just.
What about
go.
A police or military presence?
We saw, and especially in Rome, we were polizia, right? So we get to Rome, and it's the end, and we're gonna go walk. And this was one of the mistakes I made. I was like, the little Google Maps said walk this way, and I'm like, well, we got to go up these stairs. We went around. Anyway, we end up by this like presidential palace thing, and there's all these security guard type people, and then we said, what's going on here? And the Italian police guy said that the president of Paris was there.
Oh,
I'm like,
boy.
I don't know if Paris has a president. Could be the mayor.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, someone was there for some visit. So there was a lot of police presence around that. And then later on the street where our Airbnb was, we had walked to go get some dinner or gelato. We had a lot of gelato, a little ice cream, you know what I'm saying? And there was a police presence. They had blocked the road off, basically. And I'm like, I'll bet someone fancy is eating down that road, and they just don't want cars because you eat in these cafes, right? Where
Was it Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
You're just sitting there, like in the street, basically eating in these tables, and they probably didn't want to make sure there was no traffic driving up and down. But so Nick, my daughter's fiance, you call him my future son-in-law, he says, "What's going on up here?" And the guy basically said, "Move along, pal. I'm not talking to you." The cops were like, "Just walk. We're not telling you anything that's going on here." So we saw a few things here and there like
Did you go to the old country?
Well, that's what you call Sicily, probably where the old Cosa Nostra is from. We didn't go all the way down there.
Did you ever find a young girl named Apollonia who was learning how to drive a car?
Sadly, no. If we'd have gone right outside of town, we probably would have seen.
You could have saved her.
Like that. Maybe. Don't turn the key.
Anything that like having to do with movies or like where something was filmed.
Well,
that's the shit I like.
I know this. Like, Godfather 3 is obviously a lot of that's shot there because there's some Vatican scenes. We did a tour of the Vatican. St. Peter's.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did.
So what was that like?
Oh, it's amazing.
I'm a Catholic. Why don't you talk to me about that shit?
It's amazing.
Did you see the Pope?
No, we didn't see him.
You see anyone,
Interesting thing, the Pope's apartment, Pope Francis does not stay there because it's too fancy for him. He stays in an apartment like where the Cardinals stay, not the St. Louis Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
Back in the Vatican City.
Kyler Murray's in there just hanging out.
Playing video games, obviously, not studying film. But so he doesn't stay where you see the people wave. And here's an interesting thing as well. You know, when they elect a new pope, the white smoke, right? So that chimney's not always there. They only put the chimney up on the top of the Sistine Chapel when it's election time. So we got to stay in the Sistine Chapel. You can't take photos in there.
See, I would love to go like to the Vatican and tour that.
It's amazing.
So like, how long did that tour last?
We were there. We were on a full day tour of Rome that day.
Right.
You can do like an all day in the Vatican. We were probably at the Vatican for 3 hours, you know, touring through the museums, the Sistine Chapel, the fucking Hall of Tapestries, these maps they made in fucking 1500.
Yeah, I would love that.
And then we had time inside the Basilica, that's where Michelangelo's Pieta is. That's where Mary is holding Jesus. And in 1972, some deranged person went up there with a hammer and knocked Mary's nose off. So now it's behind plexiglass, and they had to get a chunk of marble from her back to repair the nose, just like a plastic surgery type thing. Got to get something.
Sounds like
somewhere.
what a housewife in Leawood, a surgery that she might have.
Yeah, good. So, but that you can't touch that now. I got some pretty good pictures of it. I'll tell you something right now. This is a whole big bunch of short, like ladies from China or Japan were in front of me, and I was like, "Can you all get out of my way? I'm trying to take this fucking picture."
What was the most beautiful thing that you saw, like of artwork or something?
Well, I mean, the masterpiece,
historical significance.
David, Michelangelo's David is in Florence, and it's pretty amazing to see it. It's 17 feet tall, and
was it beautiful to you because of the penis?
Yes, yeah. I was going to buy you one of these things everywhere.
Why didn't you?
There's like penis merch. There's like David merch.
Like, why wouldn't you bring that back to me?
You can get like boxer briefs that are basically David.
Yeah.
And then they had like an apron, just naked David.
Why wouldn't you bring me back the shorts with David's penis on it? I'd have worn those to work, just walked around and talked to people.
It was
see if they would have said anything.
But
I'm glad you thought about me when you saw that, though.
We did. There's a museum there called the Uffizi in Florence as well. That's where there's some Botticelli's, like the Birth of Venus, and there's some pictures that when you see them, you go, "Oh, I've heard of that one." Saw those with our own fucking eyes. One of the fun moments was we were in Rome, and there's just shit everywhere. I mean, there's like churches that are like you just walk in, like, "Oh, look at this fucking thing," you know? It's wild. So it's our last day, and we're getting some gelato. It'd been a pretty good walking day, not insane. And it was uphill, like maybe 10 minutes back to our Airbnb. And I'm like, I had looked online, and there's this church called the something. I don't remember what it is. And they've got a Michelangelo, big fucking statue in this church. It's Moses. And it's just free to walk in this church. There's no fee, no nothing. And we're standing there, and I said, "Hey, here's the deal. We're at a crossroads of our life. We're leaving tomorrow. we're going to go to dinner tonight. It'll be fun. We're
Steal
gonna have a nice
something.
day." You can either walk 10 minutes up this hill and go relax, or we can turn the other way and walk 6 minutes and see a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then you got to, 20 minutes back up to where you go.
No choice there.
My wife and daughter, they chose to just go back to the Airbnb. But Cooper and Nick and I were like, well, let's go fucking see this thing. We're never going to be standing just right here. So we go walking up, and this church was built in 400s or something. And it's not a big, fancy, ornate church. It's a humble, simple church that's it's close to the Coliseum, close to the Forum, all this really old shit, right? And we go in there. You just walk in, and there's this monster. It was supposed to be. It was going to be for the tomb of Pope Julius II, who is actually buried. There's 91 popes buried in the St. Peter's, and that's where he actually is. They didn't end up burying him here, but the tomb is still there. So there's this amazing freaking sculpture of Moses sitting there with the tablets, and allegedly the chains of St. Peter, they're also just on display right there, just in this church for free. So I love seeing that. A lot of people love vacation. Let's go to Jamaica for 10 days at an all-inclusive, just sit and drink and look at the water. That's not for me.
What the fuck is wrong with Jamaica?
It's fine. I did that once. I'm good for about 3 days.
I haven't done none of this shit.
I'm good for about 3 days of that. I want to go see shit. It's a big world with a lot of history. Our history in America is so short. We got stuff from the 1600s here. And, there's some indigenous peoples things, some stuff like that that's out there in the Southwest that you can see. But like our regular buildings and crap, it's just not that old. The fucking shit in Pompeii was built before Christ. It is a city. And you can walk through this. And the Colosseum's 2,000 some years old. You can think about the events that were happening, the gladiators and all that shit.
So you visited the Coliseum?
Yeah, the Coliseum.
So what was that like?
It's amazing. I mean, you're like, this fucking thing is over 2,000 years old. Now, looks like it needs repair. They're thinking about building a new one in Clay County. They can't quite pick the site yet. They got to get the stuff done, but
I got a spot for them.
I got a spot, North KC.
Well, how long was the flight?
That was our flight there wasn't bad. We flew from here to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte to Rome, and that's
as
not
most
that
people
bad.
do.
Yeah, I liked that Charlotte. Charlotte's not some big crazy airport. It's a kind of.
But how long?
That flight was probably like 8+ hours in the air. Okay, and at that point you're losing 6 hours when you get there. But the flight home sucked. We flew all the way to Dallas from Rome. So think about how far Charlotte and Dallas are apart.
I have no concept of distances between cities.
Well, it's a long ways. And now, so we're adding a whole nother, 2 hours to flight.
So do they serve you, meals on this fucking
3
deal?
meals on the fucking
really?
flight, yeah.
See, now, on a fucking flight, all we get is peanuts. What did you get?
Well,
something good?
This is funny. So we just spent 12 days in Italy eating lots of pasta.
And you got an eggplant parmesan.
So we're flying back. The flight, by the way, flying home, and I'm not bitching. You gave me shit.
No, come on, complain about your fucking $20,000 trip for everybody here.
So it was 11 hours in the air. Okay, get on the plane. I watch a movie. This is an Italian kind of theme movie, the Sebastian Maniscalco movie about my father with Robert De Niro.
I watched that on my flight to Jacksonville.
Yeah, so I watched that thing flying back from Italy. It's not real long. It's an hour and a half, hour 45.
And it's not real good.
No, it's not real good, but it was on, right? And then I listened to an hour and a half podcast. So I've been on the plane forever. I look up, still 7 fucking hours to go. I'm like, fuck this plane. Anyway, they brought us, they gave us a choice of a hot meal, our first meal coming back, and it was like you could have, they called it chicken stew. It was like some glazed pieces of chicken and some mashed potatoes and some carrots. It was very good.
All right.
The other choice was a cheese tortellini. I'm like, I don't want a tortellini right now. I just fucking ate the ass out of all the fucking pasta in the world.
You ate the ass out of the pasta.
And I don't want a tortellini right now.
That's a unique way to present that, Todd.
So I had that. And then at some point, 4 hours later, they came and they gave us some pretzel bun that had some little sliced meats and a little bit of ice cream in it, and then ate that. And then they gave us this wrap that was, I should have just thrown the wrap on the ground. It was fucking atrocious. So we got back to DFW, and now we're back in America, right? So we're in DFW. We have a 5-hour layover, and that's just circumstance. It was supposed to be 5 hours. Everything was on time. It's just how the planes worked. So now we're at DFW, and I'm watching football now. Now I'm back. I'm watching Kansas play. I'm watching the Oregon-Washington game, watching all that. waiting for our flight to leave, get to see the beginning of the Missouri game, get to see the beginning of K-State. So we go over to a little Chick-fil-A action, right? So we're going to go over to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's Chick-fil-A, and then there's the dudes working at the airport working the Chick-fil-A. It ain't the same.
Doesn't hit the same?
Yeah, the food was fine, but it wasn't the same pleasure to serve you. Kind of, this was some DFW. We got a line of fucking people. We don't have that. And we are out of food on some things, but we got a little America back in our body.
So you told us that you would not pay any attention to the Red River rivalry.
I didn't tell you that.
The fuck you didn't. You right there is I'm on vacation and I'm not going to do that to my wife. And I know Texas is playing Oklahoma, they're both undefeated, but I'm not going to try to watch it because I can't. I'm going to do other stuff. And I said, you're a liar.
Maybe.
You are a liar. What happened during the Texas-Oklahoma game?
Well, that was Saturday.
Yeah.
And we were we that was our travel day.
11 a.m. is like 6 p.m. over there.
6 p.m. So I had signed up for this pasta-making experience for us, and that was going to start at 7. So I knew that was going to keep me occupied or whatever. But, of course, in the hour before, I'm on the
we're
getting on this
fucking apron
train.
And stuff. Did you have an apron on?
Had an apron.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See
You've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
They're on Facebook.
I want to see them on this video.
So we're in this little train
Denise
station.
posted, by the way, Denise posted everything.
A lot of pictures.
I saw everything I needed to see on her Facebook account. You try to hide shit from me.
A lot of pictures.
Let me go ahead and say this. He tries to hide a lot of shit from me. We're supposedly real close friends. I get most of the shit about him from his brother's Facebook account and his wife's Facebook account.
A lot of
brother
Facebook pictures.
will post a bunch of pictures of you with hair, which I take from his account and then I distribute around Sports Radio 810. And then your wife just shows me the little a window into your life that I don't see. So I saw all this pasta making. So you're in there, you got an apron on, you're making pasta.
On the way there, the game starts at 6.
Yeah.
And I get on this train, the Circumvesuviana or whatever. We only got to go like 5 minutes to this little town called Meta. And we're on the train, and I'm like texting with Lance and my BV text group, and like Oklahoma picks the ball up, they score a touchdown, and then it's like, fucking block punt for a touchdown, all this shit.
You're in
like,
then.
Now I'm in. I'm like, I'm walking these cobblestone streets trying to find our way to this fucking thing. We get there, and I keep looking at my phone, but I'm not. I'm rolling the dough out.
Are you looking at your phone over and over again?
I did, but you got to get your hands in the fucking dough.
What about this guy that's running the pasta class? Did he see you fucking doing that? At
one point, he did say, kind of what's on the phone. I said, I got a big fucking game going on, dude. Right. I'm engaged. Believe me, I'm here.
Did Texas, Oklahoma, or Red River rivalry resonate with anyone there when you said that?
The guests, the two other people who were in our class, they were from Iowa and the Iowa State.
Oh, so they know what you're talking about.
Hate Texas.
Yeah.
So they were in.
Texas.
So every once in a while I would check, and now we're eating our food, and I'm checking, and it was good. They were winning, and then they were losing, and then so I'm like, I think they're fucking done. There's a minute to go. And I could probably find Lance's text. Eventually.
So were you watching it at all?
No, there's no watching. This was all just text. There's no watching it. There's no chance.
No YouTube TV.
ESPN
nothing.
Doesn't work. YouTube TV doesn't work. Nothing.
But you're getting timely updates.
Timely updates. And so I think we're toast. I wish we'd let me see here. I'll read this.
Was Denise mad that you kept looking for updates?
A little bit, but she was engaged in the class. So. So then I'm like, they field goal to Trimp. They drilled it. And I said, well, that's a win for us. We have no timeouts. I said, well, not looking good. Let's run the kickback. Whatever. He's like, at midfield, at the 20, 50 seconds, PI, TD, legendary play by Dylan. How much time? 6 seconds, and we win. And so I say to the class, we win to this Iowa State lady. She's fired up. She's like, yes. And now I'm like,
she loves it.
Let's have another fucking glass of wine, make another round of
Now you're getting ready to fucking party in Italy.
I was explaining to the guy who was running the classes, this is a big deal. Like, I said, who's your soccer team? He's like, AS Roma. I said, this is like
what you're talking about now.
This is like Roma and Lazio. That's the two teams in Rome. That's like MUKU, whatever, right? And so, or Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets. It's like, they play the same sport in the same town. I said, this is like beating that fucking team because any kind of guy.
It.
So, and then I taught him and the lady and everyone how to do a horns down.
Did they do it?
And we took a horns down picture, and I sent that to my group. So we had
spread your hatred of Texas to Italy.
I said, that's right. Spread it around. So it was a very fun way to watch the game. And at some point, I'm pretty sure in the middle of the class when we were winning, I told my daughter, if they fucking win this game, we're coming back to Italy every year. Now,
are you?
No, we're not.
Why?
Well, because I've been there.
Only $20,000.
Well, it'd be a lot less if we only had 2 of us there. I promise you that.
Wow.
It was about the other people with us, But.
So do you, if someone out there has saved up for a trip, they're thinking, okay, now we just got to decide on the destination, would you wholeheartedly give them a positive recommendation to go to Italy?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. And my suggestion would be, don't try to do too much. Don't try to say, well, I'm going to go to Venice and Milan and Sicily and Rome.
Too much.
Too much. You got to give yourself a few days in each city.
So then what's the best? What's the must-do then?
Well, if you're, especially for someone like you, if you're Catholic, you got to go.
What the fuck does that mean? Someone like me?
You got to go see the Vatican.
I mean, no, I didn't like the way, what am I? What if someone like me?
You're a grown and born and raised Catholic.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yes. So that is
Vatican.
really amazing.
See, that would be at the top of my list, Vatican.
Yeah. Now, if you're someone who likes art and stuff, Florence probably has a little bit more of some of that, but there was some great art stuff in Rome as well.
I want to go see the Colosseum. I want to see David's penis.
Sorrento is more relaxing, Amalfi Coast. They do have beaches there and take boats and, like White Lotus-y.
What if I want the best foods and wines that I could possibly have?
Probably Florence. That's a more wine country up there, but they got good wine everywhere. I think Milan is more of a we didn't get to go there. I have heard people love Venice, but some people are like, Venice.
But you didn't go to Venice?
No.
So you didn't get in one of them?
No, they say that's like a flooded plaza that smells kind of gross because it's a bunch of standing water.
Todd just said that Venice is like a flooded plaza.
That's how someone explained it to me.
Because it smells.
Oh, Ben's the one who told me that.
Ben's been there. So Ben equates Venice to a
flooded plaza.
Stinky plaza that's flooded.
Yeah, some places smell. I'll tell you what's cool. There's a lot of trash gets made in these cities. You've been in New York City or something where the trash trucks run all night, right? So there's trash a lot of places. People put their trash out, but they got to have little baby trash trucks because they don't have big wide streets.
Right.
I saw some wild-ass vehicles, these little fucking trash trucks. These guys go out there throwing trash out, getting it all the times a day. It was wild.
What about drugs?
Well, I didn't see this, but Nick said the bathroom at the Napoli train station, there was a bunch of needles in there. But
go on.
They do charge people to use the restrooms in these. They're supposed to keep it clean.
But did you see anything? Did you see anything illegal that may have been available to you?
No. I saw some cannabis shops.
Okay.
I didn't smell weed walking around, though, like you smelled at Arrowhead or something.
No brothels? You did see
there.
Cannabis shops?
Yeah.
What about a bathhouse?
A lot of tobacco shops are called. That's just like where you go buy a train ticket or cigarettes or whatever. So,
did you go to a cheese shop? I feel like there'd be some nice cheese.
Go to a cheese shop. We didn't. And if you go to Sorrento, it's a lot of leather goods are made there. Like you talk about fine Italian leather belts and stuff like that. You buy those right there.
Why didn't you replace the leather jacket of yours that I ripped apart in Denver?
I could have. I didn't have enough
downtown
room.
Denver.
Well, I'll tell you this. My wife.
By the way, Dad, if you're watching this, can you please fucking help me get a leather jacket? What size?
Probably large right now.
A large leather jacket.
I don't think I needed it.
Because years ago, I tackled him in the snow in downtown Denver, ripped his jacket apart, and I know that you have some
connections,
good prices on leather jackets, perhaps. So if you can get one, what color? You like brown or black?
Black, probably. I don't need a leather jacket. I'm good.
But you won't say no to one, would you?
No, I would take whatever. But I did buy a new leather belt.
Why don't you get a bag?
Oh, my wife bought 2 purses and then a purse for a friend.
Like a purse like I wear. You don't want.
They had I saw a lot of those little purses. A lot of those front bags. What do they call them?
Right.
Yeah.
What about some Italian boots?
There were Italian boots.
I'd love that. I'd love to go to a leather.
You would love. And you walk past some of these shops. You go, smells like leather of an
smell of rich Corinthian leather or something. I don't fucking know.
Yes, that was good. It was fun. I would say go. Plan your travel. If you're coming home, fly to the East Coast. Don't try to fly all the way in. Flight's too long. But go see the things. And we spent some money on some things, too, to have a guided tour because that helps. A lot of that stuff helps to have someone kind of explaining stuff to you.
Okay. So, thumbs up on your trip to Italy. We'll end it with this. Totally different subject. I finished Better Call Saul.
Did you?
Yeah.
You made it. What'd you think of the end?
I like it.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I like the end.
But it is.
The ending made me mad.
Yeah? You didn't want him to go to jail?
Why in the fuck? If he had a 7-year sentence, basically going to a country club where he's going to play, trust me, I've seen the differences. I have unique experience going and visiting my father at these different places. Leavenworth, Rochester, Yankton, South Dakota, Waseca, Minnesota, all these different places. Yankton was terrific. My dad was baking cream puffs for people, and he was on the softball team till he broke his wrist trying to break up a fucking double play at second, and then he had to go to the hospital down in Springfield. All right, so I've seen these places. He had it perfect. 7 years, do 7 years at that place standing on his head, and then he fucking just went and fucked himself to 80-some years. Why'd he do that?
Dumb.
No, I'm honestly asking, why'd he do that? What's the reasoning behind that? Just to fucking impress Kim?
Yeah, save Kim, help her.
Fuck that.
Love, buddy.
No, she fucked him by admitting everything that happened with Howard.
Yes. He's trying to help.
I just recently watched this, so this is fresh for me.
Fresh.
So did you think it was a good finale?
It wasn't as good. I mean, listen, the Breaking Bad finale is one of the best finales of all time. What
if I told you
it was a very Saul finale.
I enjoyed Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad as a whole.
I think I could see parts
ridiculous?
of that. Yeah. No, it's not ridiculous.
Because Mike.
But yes, Mike. But I think it's also fun that you enjoyed because you watched Breaking Bad, so it made Better Call Saul better.
You know what? The one scene that I did think was powerful, that I did like in the end, was the actual very end. Because that resonated with me when he was just standing there in the yard, and she kept looking back, and then she looks back, and she sees him, and you see her view of Saul until you just see the wall, and he's out of view, and then that's it.
That's it.
And that did resonate because that's powerful when you're leaving someone that you love, and I imagine she still loved him when she was leaving someone that she loved in prison, knowing that he ain't never fucking getting out.
Yeah,
because he ain't getting out.
No.
Would you like to hear the final story about this?
Yes.
So we're almost to Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm.
Phil St. John, at 20 years old, he kind of jumped into Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, binge-watched the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it, right? Guess who he's going to his Halloween party on Saturday as? I've been helping him buy everything.
Gus Fring.
No. Keep going. I had to buy him a big hoodie, a skull cap. He's getting some big jeans. He's going thrifting. Jesse Pinkman. And his girlfriend's going to be Jane.
I hope it ends better for him.
Well, it's going to end better than that.
Okay.
But doesn't that make you proud somehow that Phil's going to be Jesse Pinkman?
He's going to buzz his hair off for it?
He's getting his hair cut.
Trimming it up
tomorrow.
A little bit.
Yeah. He's getting his haircut, but he's
yeah, you put the hat on, doesn't matter what.
But he's going all in on this thing.
Yeah. He's getting a little fake tattoo on his hand.
He's trying to do some. Yeah. He's making it happen. So I thought you'd appreciate that.
That's good. And then at some point during the night, he has to get like his little yellow PPE suits and put that on.
Oh, they got everything in Amazon. I can tell you that.
Oh, of course they do.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Did you miss work at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was worried sick about you guys.
Be honest. Did you think shit was going to collapse here while you were gone?
No, not collapse.
I did.
I was a little bit worried about some things, but it all worked out.
What were you worried about most?
Well, I was just worried about some of the things that I get ready for the weekends and nights and stuff. I thought all the shows would be fine.
Are you honest?
Yeah, absolutely honest. Absolutely honest.
There's not a part of you that thought, because this is what I think. I think this was a power play, and you wanted to leave to show people how much you're needed here.
No.
No, don't lie to me.
I went on a vacation to have a wonderful time with my family.
Was there a shit show when you were going to the things I don't know?
No.
We tried to get through it.
No, I think everything went pretty well. I texted with Drake every once in a while. We're on the air. Yeah.
Did it make you miss work? Did you miss us?
I missed you guys.
Do you come back refreshed and ready to attack the rest of the football season?
Yes.
Are we working the Chargers game on Sunday?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
We are.
Well, I am.
I'm going to be, fuck yeah. Are you going to fucking sit next to me? Or are you going to go be, you're spotting again for some jack off?
Yeah.
Who?
Same thing.
Who? What? What are you spotting?
Sports USA.
Sports USA?
Yeah.
Who calls that game?
I think it's going to be the Josh Appel again.
So what do you watch that or listen to that?
In the press box.
But I mean, where do people consume this?
Well, you can't do it here because it's, this kind of things we play here, but we can't play it because it's Chiefs.
All right. Whatever. So I'll be on my own in the press box.
We're going to have a meal together, and I'll come see you at halftime.
That's Todd Lebo back from his trip, his journey to Italy. My name is Stephen St. John. This has been Hot Mic with SSJ. Until next week, the microphone is off.